Thank you for staying with us in No Labels, No Walls, We Are One Festival. Next up in the festival we have the National Involvement Network explores the 7 keys to citizenship. Members of the National Involvement Network brings us their distinct take on the 7 keys to citizenship and how the issues at stake impact on their lives.
Hello, I'm Alan Mackenzie from Bonnyrigg, and I'm the chairperson of the National Involvement Network, or NIN as we like to call it. The NIN is a large group of people who meet and get support from different organisations all throughout Scotland. We meet 5 to 6 times a year and discuss what really matters in our lives and if we can make things any better. We wrote the Charter for Involvement to say what we want in our lives and what would be better for us. 10 members have been talking about the 7 keys to citizenship. We've talked about what this means to us and how things have changed over the pandemic. We hope you enjoy our video.
Otherwise, it doesn't feel like I'm being a citizen if I don't have like my freedom. I feel like travel, freedom to go places on my own, freedom to not have any time that I need to be back for, freedom to have a bit more time to enjoy things and do different leisure things like lockdown and things. I'm not out and about as much as I used to be. I can't go as far as like places I used to like go every day and things like that.
I mean, now I have got a bit of freedom because I self-travel. I can buy things myself. I could pay for things on my own. Obviously, I just feel that I've got like I've got that freedom now that I didn't have before. Because now I've got like my own card that I can use it to like buy things. I'm just happy that I can do quite a lot of things that I never used to do.
Nobody should put restrictions on that. No, but forget there was this pandemic. Just say, right, a person says, oh no, you can't go and meet this person, you can't go and meet that person. No, nobody should make restrictions on your life. But you can't overprotect people. You've got to give them a bit of freedom as well. Just let them have a choice and see what happens.
I feel very lucky that I have been involved with the NIN for a long time now, because I feel if I hadn't been introduced to the NIN, I would have probably not have been able to have start getting paid for like training, starting to like help people and like being more involved in things. So that's why I'm very grateful of being a member of the NIN, because it gives me that sense of purpose.
Yeah.
Because without it, I don't really think my life does have any purpose.
I think my purpose every single morning, like well, today, I like the idea when I've got up and I'm like saying I'm up for work, because usually I'm not a morning person when it comes up to going to work and that, because I've not been used to it. But then I realise if you get up for work and that, and I realise I'm doing this because the ponies need feeding, other animals need feeding, everybody needs looking after in the farm, and the idea that I love being an animal person, and I like help rescuing animals who have been in bad situations, and I wake up and realise this is my job. This is a good job that I'm doing to animals, and I am and I'm helping a charity as well, 2 charities involving looking after people as well, and then animals. So I think every single morning I'm like, or mornings that I'm up, I'm like, brilliant, I'm ready to go.
It's about having my vote, like having volunteering, having the volunteering and having support to support me in whatever it is that I want. I was doing volunteering obviously before the lockdown started, so I was volunteering with a charity called LREC, and I was volunteering at Prestonfield Neighbourhood Centre, which is an organisation with elderly people who have different kinds of conditions or health issues and whatever, and I was sort of helping them in the afternoon, basically being involved in whatever activities that they were doing. So the lockdown started, everything seems to have dried up since then. So it's not the same now as where it feels like you've not got that sense of purpose as much as I did before. So the idea of having things in your life, whatever it may be, is much better for your mental health as well as for other people that you come into contact with.
I just think purpose is like with it's just like, I think it means to me for what I felt this year is like with the COVID. It's just like we've not had really much of like purpose. It's like all my things that I've been doing have been like cancelled, and I'm quite upset about that. And I just think that's a purpose, because the COVID has like let everybody down. Not like I used to work at Bernardo's. I really enjoyed that, and now I don't. I've lost that due to this COVID, because they don't want any more staff in it. I was quite upset about the lockdown. I was quite upset about everything. just didn't like it. I just didn't enjoy it. But we can't help it. It's just one of these things that's happened. I think next year they'll all be talking about it. Like what a year it was with all the festivals being cancelled. It's just like everything's just happened this year. It's just a not good year.
I think being a citizen means being able to have my say, not being judged and being listened to. Citizens have lives that are meaningful. They have a sense of purpose. With a purpose, what is the meaning of life? You can't lose your sense of purpose if you are cut off from other people. You can gain a sense of purpose if you follow your dreams and live life to the full. We should have hope for everyone so that we don't lose self-confidence.
say money. I would say money is an important thing because you need money to, like, buy a house and buy your shopping and pay all your rents and bills and all that for your house. Because if you didn't have money, what would you do? What would you do if you didn't have any money?
Mm.
Room would be bare. I'd have no curtains, no wallpaper, nothing.
For me, it helps with like obviously, like when you go shopping and stuff like that, you need to have money to be able to buy clothes, to buy food, to buy anything else that you need. Like it can help you with, say, if you want to play sports with your mates and things like that, you have to sometimes pay for these activities. Like for my case, badminton, if I went to go and book a court for something like that, it can help with doing things like that.
Everybody should really have a choice on how they spend their money. But with me, my mum kind of keeps an eye on my finances just because I don't really understand huge sums like rent and stuff from a property. I kind of struggle to know how much I pay and all this. So my mum's kind of helps with that. But day-to-day shopping and that, my mum comes with me and just to make, not even to make sure I buy the right stuff. It's a company thing as well. My mum will do her shopping, I'll do my shopping, we'll meet up at the shop and put in the bags and that. We used to go for a cup of tea, but we don't do that at the moment because we can't go anywhere. Oh no, we can, but not in the supermarket. But I think it's the choice to spend your money. I think it's like people's choice to spend their money on what they want. But me personally, I like to try and save some as well because I think it's quite good to have a kind of like a rainy day thing. If something happens, say, I don't know, and you needed some money aside, you've got that. Just you know you've always got to be something in case something happens. I don't know, like the dishwasher breaks or something. Or I don't know, even like a holiday or I don't know, or a new TV or something you see, and then you know you have that money aside for that. I think it's quite. I think money can be a scary thing too. I think me personally, I'm quite one of those people who isn't very good at budgeting. I think that's quite good. Like my mum keeps an eye on my bank card just because if I went out, I would just buy a load of stuff. I'm getting better at buying things that I need, but then I buy them and then I don't really look at them and then chuck them to really after a while. So really, I'm not spending money wisely. And really, I'm buying things I think look nice, and then I'll have them for say maybe a couple of months or maybe even a couple of years really, and then I'll get rid of them. So really, when I'm buying things, I buy things for the long term.
It's a place where you can feel secure. Like in my parents' home, my family home, which was broken up 30 years ago because the death of my parents was very important to me. And it's only recently that I've found a home here in Ettrick Road, where it's lovely to be. The people are so kind and thoughtful. So I feel at home here, and I can get on with my voluntary work on the computer where I feel safe and secure.
I used to have independence and do what I want to do when living on my own, doing my own chores and batch cooking. shopping. I'm happy living on my own.
The reason how it's important I get in my own house is because like I'm growing up now, and like I can feel that I can do more myself. Because mum and dad have been there for me, but I want to kind of be more independent now. I've been able to go and do things on my own without having help all the time. I've got all my fabrics and all that, like mum and dad's got furniture in their cupboard in their bedroom to go in my own house. They've got everything sorted. I've got 2 chairs going. I've got cutlery and dishes to go to my own house, and then I've got some other stuff in my own room to go. So yeah. But I'm halfway down the waiting list now, so I just can't wait to hear when it's happening. I see myself living on my own because I wouldn't want to live like with other people. I'd want it to just be on my own. So, because then it gives me more experience to look after my own house than having somebody stuck by my side all the time.
So, for example, if I was going down to the shops and I needed some help with like carrying a bag or something whilst I was crossing the road or whatever, then I wouldn't ask like a stranger. I would always make sure I had someone I knew, either I've met them or someone who I trust. Like get a stranger to do something for you, then you're risking everything when you don't know this like person.
I think it's like help. I think it's just like getting somebody to like explain my worries about maybe something, and like say like if I was hypothetically worrying about something, I could maybe I would speak to one of my staff, and they would speak with me, and they could reassure me, and then they might obviously they can't tell me what to do, but they might like explain in a way, and I might think, you know what, this isn't really what I want. You know what I mean? So it's a bit like having somebody kind of layer who you can like, because I've got like Gary Care with Hillcrest Futures, and they kind of come and tell me medication and stuff. But if I do need to speak to them, I can speak to them on the phone, or like if I have somebody on my medication visit, I would speak to them. And it's quite, I think it's quite good to know you have that person. I don't think everybody can make decisions successfully themselves. I think in life, you do make decisions and they might not be the best. And kind of you move on from that and you learn. I think it's quite tricky sometimes because you make a decision and it might be the right one for that moment, but then later down the line, it might change. Yes, something about letting the person have a bit of independence in the decisions. And like, because sometimes, yeah, you will make wrong decisions, and I think it's important, yeah, to know and to maybe have a wee setback. It's quite healthy. Then you learn, you think, okay, I'll know for the next time. We should do anyway. But I think, yeah, it's important to kind of know that be able to have that kind of, if you have that kind of, make that mistake, you know, for the next time, you know, like, I won't do that again, because you'll know it wasn't the right decision. But again, it might be a case like, maybe it wasn't the right decision that time, but it's not to say it wouldn't be the right decision the next time. You know, it's quite tricky.
A lot meant to me because they mentioned that I was doing badminton, and so I was doing a lot of badminton with LDBC, and I've been involved with the Lothian Special Olympics because I was involved in the Special Olympics anniversary games in Stirling in 2018 because it was the 40th anniversary of that. It was the first time I'd ever been involved in the Special Olympics, and actually in fact I won a bronze medal in that, and that was one of the things that actually meant a huge amount to me. For me, it was just the idea of taking part in things, and that was actually meant a lot to me, because I like badminton and it means a lot to me, and taking part in competitions, do that with Four Nations, which aren't as big as that, but it's being involved in sport means something to me, even though I have mobility issues, which is hard for me when I'm taking part against people who have different issues that don't have what I've got. So it makes it not so easy for me when I'm trying to cover the whole court against that, because I do the best that I can in these situations. But now, obviously, with the fact that I was told that the Special Olympic Summer Games in 2021 in Liverpool have been postponed altogether, was a bit sort of to get used to the fact that that's not happening. So, and it's been quite difficult the last 5 or 6 months of not being able to do that at all. It's been quite difficult for me, but it seems to me that moving now possibly in the right direction where I'll be able to do some of these things I've not been able to do before going forward, which is great because I've actually been missing that. And that for me, that's one purpose to life, and that makes me happy.
My main sporting interest is rugby, and I play for a mixed ability rugby team internationally and club level. And because of this pandemic, like Gregor, it's been hard to like do any like training or anything. I was meant to go to my second mixed ability world tournament in Ireland this year, but because of the pandemic, it was cancelled, and so we found out it's going to be another few more months before we can actually go back to training because of safety and everything. So that will be quite hard for me to adjust to everything, having almost nearly a whole year without playing any sport.
Love. Because that's the most important one for me, because I have the love of my family, I have the love of my friends, have love for people outside in the community, like to help people. No, having the love of the people that are around me just now is most important for me. And having the love to people who are not around as well, actually. Like family members that I've lost and friends that I've lost, still having the love for them is a very, very important part for me.
I always loved my parents. I always known I've loved my parents, and I love my brothers. I know we argue in that since we've grown up, but the one thing I find is that I love my family. We've always have a strong bond, and the idea as well, I don't need any boyfriends for love. I don't need a boyfriend. I don't need a relationship with a boyfriend because I've got a life of work, a good friendship with my best friend Natalie, who has been friends with me since I was little, and when we went to the same school, Anna Ritchie School, and we've known each other since then, and since college and school, and then Willowbank, and then work as well. It's been absolutely awesome how she's managed to keep me strong, and the idea that anytime I've got a problem, she'll come to me, and she says that we'll be friends forever, and I always trust that in her, and I trust her, and that's what I need in a friendship, a friend. If I didn't have an actual best friend and I had no friends, the worst thing would be is I would feel all alone and I would feel depressed. Because I find I can trust Natalie as a friend, and sometimes it's hard for me to deal with relationships because I've had boyfriends in the past and I find it difficult to hold relationships with a boy. So I find that really difficult because of my disability as well, and the idea that they've treated me different, treated me like just because I've got a disability, they just want to pick on me, and I find it really hard and hurtful.
Right.
My other aspect that relates to me is love. Because obviously, when you need to have friends around you, and that's the good thing of having friends, that you are able to speak to them, and the likes of for example likes of this Zooming people and FaceTiming people, that is that you don't have to see them face to face if you don't want to. You can have a good conversation doing Zoom and FaceTime, and I love that aspect of it, because everyone needs friends, everyone needs love in their life.